Powered by Riverside FM.
All right, so for this Browns backers interview, please help me welcome straight from Sin City, the president of the Vegas Dawg Pound, Deb Moyers.
Thanks for having me on your podcast. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. How are you?
I am doing fine. It's been a little hectic out here. Our local chapter lost our viewing location at the end of July. And so we had to find a new location. And then we are planning a party this year for the Raiders game this coming Saturday. And we ended up losing that location for the party towards the end of August. So it's been really stressful out here in Vegas.
So you've been busy.
Very busy.
Well, I know that, and I have a little bit more information than the average viewer. I know that you guys have over 300 people going to this party. So yes. What happened? The original location for that, they just didn't want 300 people. They didn't want all that business.
Well, unfortunately, they're in a strip mall, and right next to them, the parking lot had been fenced off because they're building a gas station. And the owners of the venue thought the gas station would be built in 2 months. I knew that it wouldn't because I live here in Vegas. I deal with construction every day. But when it wasn't built, then he came back and said that they didn't feel comfortable having us. So then we had to try and find another venue.
Gotcha. Well, that's unfortunate because, again, I know it's a big crowd coming in. Not only you guys locally have a lot of people there watching, and actually, why don't you tell us about your chapter? I mean, when were you established? How many members do you have? And what is your typical viewing location? I know you said you had to find a new one. So
yeah. We established our club in 2004. I have been part of the board since then, so it's been 20 years. I think I've been president for about the last 6 or 7. We had our first viewing location. We started watching there in 1999, became an official club in 2004. We were there right until COVID. And once COVID hit and they opened the bars back up, we were basically asked by the owners of our first viewing location that they didn't want us to come back. So we had to find a new place. So we found one. We'd like to be not too far from the strip because we get a lot of visitors come in every week. So we found one actually a little bit closer to the strip. It used to be a TGIF restaurant. So it was big, it was open, high ceilings, good capacity for our crowd. And we were there for 3 years. And then they just closed their doors at the end of January. So we had to find a new viewing location, which we did. And we're at a new bar now. We get probably, I think on average, about between 90 and 110 people per game to come in and watch. We are the place the visitors come to watch the games. Every visitor who's been in, I would say at least half of them join our club, and they get a free t-shirt, which we redesign every year. And then we have raffle prizes for members only, and they get raffle tickets. So I think our actual members on the official club site is about 175. Typically, in a season, we sign up over 700 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I will say I have a great board. I have a board of 5 other people that this could not be done without them.
Yeah. Do you guys, so when these 700 or so people are signing up, something we learned earlier this season, it may be useful when you get these people to sign up with you is, one, it's free to join on the Browns Backers Worldwide website.
Yes.
And 2, you could actually join as many different locations as you want. So, it may be something to run past all these people that are signing up with you.
I did not know that. I thought you could only sign up for one club.
No, but as a matter of fact, we do these interviews every week. We interview a different Browns backers organization every week, and every time we interview one, we actually join their group. So
cool.
Between us two and our board man Bone, so you get 3 members every time we do an interview with one of you guys. So
awesome.
just something to keep in mind. I know not a lot of people know that. Apparently, we just learned earlier this season. As many as you want. So
that's good to know.
What is your new viewing location? I don't know. I don't think I caught the name of it.
It's PT's Gold, and it's located just a couple miles off of the Strip. On, let me get this right, Spring Mountain and Arville. So
nice. It's
easy for visitors to get to. It's kind of centrally located for our locals, that was our desire, to have something that was convenient for everybody and centrally located. And the capacity capacity for this bar is 300.
Nice. So the Sphere wasn't available?
I
wish. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
It feels like it'd be
just cool put the game on the whole inside of yeah.
Although sometimes I don't know if we want it that big.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, things could get rowdy, I think.
Yeah.
No, so you got your viewing location. You got plenty of members. You guys have been around for a while. I know one of the big parts of Browns backers organizations, the different chapters that are all over the country and all over the world, is community service and kind of helping out with local charities, as well as the Cleveland Browns Foundation. So can you tell us what kind of community service or charity work you guys are doing?
Well, for us, it's mostly donating to a charity. We choose a new charity every year. It has to be local. It has to be something that's not well known and advertised in the city. So every year we pick a new one. The board gets together, we come up with ideas, and then we all vote for one that we want to have. So our charity this year is Mentoring Mindsets, and they deal with helping students K through 12 in low income and underserved communities with their literacy. And we have a lot of people here who English is their second language. So this helps a lot of students whose parents may not even speak English. And that's the charity
awesome.
that we choose. Yeah,
fantastic cause to get involved with and help with.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of you guys going out and finding lesser known charities.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say, was that you have that kind of criteria. Not that all charities don't deserve attention, but to find those ones that are maybe less mainstream, to make sure you're helping out even the smaller ones.
We have a lot of really great charities here, but they're well known in the Valley. So they have events and they have galas and they have large donors. And we wanted to find somebody that would appreciate a few $1,000s, and that it would help them and go a long way.
Yes,
that's awesome.
No, so now we have your viewing location that you're involved with. We got all the members that you can find. You're doing this community service. You're helping out with this charity. Do you have any upcoming events that are going to kind of help, kind of bring all that together into one?
Well, actually, we have an event coming up this Saturday. We've got hundreds of Browns fans descending on Las Vegas for the Browns-Raiders game on Sunday. It is the first time that the Browns are playing in Las Vegas because the Raiders are relatively newer to Las Vegas. So we've got a bunch of people coming in. We are planning a party at Flanker inside Mandalay Bay, which is right next to the stadium. And we're going to have this party from 5 to 8. We're going to have charity raffles. We're going to sell T-shirts. We have T-shirts made of a dog eating the stadium. So we made those T-shirts for the game, and then we're also going to have Phil Taylor there as an alumni selling signing autographs and taking a few pictures. Chomps will be there. So it should be a lot of fun.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of Browns fans here locally because we're in Ohio, and a lot of people that I've talked to had this one circled for a long time for the exact reason that you said. It's the first time the Browns are going to Vegas, and people were like, I'm gonna use that as an excuse to go out there and do things that you do in Vegas. So,
who doesn't want to come to Vegas?
Right.
That's right. Have you yourself had a chance to go to a Las Vegas Raiders game just to see the stadium at all yet, or is this your first time over there?
This will be my first time for a game. I did go a couple years ago when we had the Pro Bowl here, and we all know how interesting the Pro Bowl can be. But it was the only time that I could afford tickets to the stadium.
Oh man, it's one of those stadiums.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't have, $250 for a ticket every week.
Sure,
Not that I would go and cheer on the Raiders. That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So I am.
I'm curious. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I am going this weekend, on Sunday to the game. I was given tickets by somebody very, very special. So I've got great seats and cannot wait to go.
Nice. You have to fill us in later. Let us know how the actual game goes and what the experience is like in the stadium. Because I've heard really good things about that stadium. So.
Yeah. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm curious just in general. I mean, I think this has been a little bit of an experiment with like bringing a pro sports team to Vegas. Does it feel like the city is truly embraced having the Raiders there? Like, does it feel like there's diehard Raider fans, or is it more like transient fans that are coming in from other fan bases to see like who's playing the Raiders? Like, I just trying to get a feel for like what the scene is like in terms of the team there.
Well, most of the people who live here, if they're interested in football, they probably already had their favorite team because a lot of the people come from somewhere else. For us that live here, we do have Raiders fans because it is the home team for Las Vegas. We get a lot of visitors, though, that come in for the games. We don't necessarily have a lot of the average people cannot afford to go to the games.
Sure.
They've kind of outsourced the pricing for us. And so people have bought the season tickets and they sell their tickets to people who are coming in to visit. So there are a lot of times for these games when the opposing team will have more fans than actually the Raiders.
Wow.
And I'm hoping that's the Browns
imagine living in a world like that.
No.
Like with growing up a Browns fan and seeing Cleveland Browns Stadium, even when there's, where they're playing terribly, it's the middle of the winter, all of those things. Like, I can't even imagine not, the stadium being more away fans than home fans. I don't even know what that means, but
I've only seen it on TV so far.
Speaking of just Vegas in general, so are you a native resident of Las Vegas, or have you moved out there yourself?
I actually grew up in Middleburg Heights, Ohio.
Oh wow!
And
nice.
I moved out here in 1996. I followed a couple friends who don't live here anymore. But I moved out here, and honestly, the weather you can't beat. If you want snow, you can go up in the mountains and then come back down to the valley.
Yeah.
Now it has gotten a little hotter lately. We set some major records this past summer. We hit 120 one day, which is the hottest it's ever been in Las Vegas.
Oh,
and we probably had 10 days where it was 114 or above in a row.
Wow.
But honestly, it's like Vegas has been home for almost 30 years now.
Yeah. So how did you become a Browns fan? Were you a Browns fan? I mean, I know you grew up in Middleburg Heights, but like, were you born into it? Like, did you always live in Ohio, or was it something that you came about later in life?
No, I was born and raised in Ohio. I was born in East Cleveland and then grew up in Middleburg Heights, which is on the west side of Cleveland. My father was not a sports fan. He worked 3 jobs when I was growing up, so he didn't really have time for it. And I fell in with some friends who would watch all the games, and we started watching the games together, and we would take turns at everybody's house, and that person would serve like hors d'oeuvres and everybody else would bring drinks. And it was just, that's how I became a Browns fan. And it was probably like around 1980. So I very much remember the Cardiac Kids.
Nice.
So you were already partaking in Browns backers like activities before.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Part of the Browns backers.
Yeah.
Throwing mini Browns backers parties.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, I mean, that brings us to the football team. Obviously, the reason we're all here. It was ugly this last week. I mean, do you have thoughts on last week's game against the Giants?
It was horrible to watch. And I mean, I don't know how many times I swore during that game. It was, honestly, it was really difficult to watch. There were a few highlights, and I will say when the game started and our first play was a touchdown, I just expected so much that, for the rest of the game, and was highly disappointed.
They were the biggest mistake of your life.
Yeah. Our Browns fans. I was going to say, Deb,
I have a toddler at home, and you were talking about swearing and how many times you swore, and my wife had to smack me because she was like, "Hey, she's going to repeat everything you say. You got to calm down over there."
Yes, she will.
So it was bad.
It was. The only thing that might be good about this coming week's football game is that the Raiders look just as bad as the Browns did. So
that's, yes.
The TV sportscasters out here are really disappointed with them. The head coach is really disappointed with them. And
we saw his comments. Those were good.
Yeah. So right now it's like I'm crossing my fingers that out of 2 bad teams, maybe we can pull it off.
I like that.
I hope you're right. Which, I mean, that's a perfect segue. What are your thoughts for this game, other than there being 2 bad teams playing here? And who do you think is going to win, and what do you think the score is going to be?
Oh gosh, I gave up on predicting who would win years ago.
You can't do that here. You're on with the Burning River Sportscast, and we're going to pin you to this. You have to give us a prediction. So,
but let me tell you why I gave up on it. The year that we only won 1 game, the next year everybody asked, "Deb, what do you think?" And I said, "We'll win more games than last year," and we went 0-16.
Well,
so now you kind of know. So that's why I don't normally. But I'm going to put the Browns up by 3. I'm going to be really, 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 really hopeful and say 24-21.
Nice. I like that. I like that. That's right there. That's right around the. I think you get the over on that. But
yeah. I'm optimistic.
No, we appreciate that, and I think a lot of Browns fans try to stay optimistic. Give it a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a couple more weeks. But no, listen, Deb, it's been fantastic having you on. We really appreciate it. This has been a fun conversation. I wish we could keep talking to you. This always happens with our Browns backers interviews is we start to get into some good conversations. We want to keep it going.
Go all night.
But we don't like our show to be 3 hours long. So, So I really appreciate having you on here. Thank you for your insights as to what you guys are doing out there in Vegas and all the upcoming events you have, the big parties planned for this weekend and everything. Just thank you so much, and you're welcome anytime on the Burning River Sportscast.
It has been my pleasure, and if you guys ever come out to Vegas, look us up.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, take care. We're the Vegas Dawg Pound, and you're listening to Burning River Sportscast. Go Browns!